Jussie Smollett of Empire is quoted as saying to ABC, "There's no which way you cut it. I don't need some MAGA hat as the cherry on top of some racist sundae." Well, it looks like he's going to get his just desserts.
I got you. Yeah, I will defend my brothers. I will defend the weak. I will pursue and fight evil so others may sleep. I am the sheepdog, protecting the night. Wolf hunters unite. Bring it on. It's time to fight.
You know, that intro is actually getting pretty old. I tried to change it before, but everybody, I don't know. It seemed like more people in the comments wanted it to stay when I changed it, but maybe what I changed it to just sucked. So I'm going to work on a new intro. Something shorter, sweeter, still with that sweet bass sound to it. Anyway, I'm coming to you not from The Price is Right, despite the fact that I'm holding a microphone in my freaking hand because I didn't bring a stand to Houston with me on my trip. But I'm coming to you from Houston. But I wanted to bring this quick video to you because the Jussie, why can't you just be, what's up with a normal name? It's hot right now.
Hansel, so hot right now.
I didn't want to miss the opportunity, but I am on a trip, a little mix of business and pleasure down in Houston. I'm here with my youngest daughter. Say hello.
Hello.
Both of us are into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and there's a place down here that Renzo Gracie Houston, so I commend that place to train to you, especially if you are a veteran. They're strongly part of the We Defy Foundation, and if you're a police officer, they offer, if I'm not mistaken, 6 months free to police officers to start training. So, and if not, well, Brian, the main owner, I'm sorry. Yeah, can you do that for me? So we're training jiu-jitsu. I'm having a few meetings with some key partners of mine from Relentless Defender Apparel and Millicor Supplements, and we're working on some new things together. I'm going to do a little live stream later this afternoon for the Call for Backup campaign combating suicide and first responders. So I'm doing a little bit of work, but I'm also down here just trying to get away from the cold weather in Michigan, get on the mats, do some jiu-jitsu here with some friends. And also there's something Thursday that I'm trying to do I'm excited about. I'm going to try to film it. I'm teasing it that way. I'm not even going to give it away what it is, but we're trying to do something kind of cool on Thursday. Cool for us. Anyway, so Jussie, gosh dang it, Jussie Smollett. Part of the job of a law enforcement officer is when someone comes in to make a police report, or when you are called to someone's house to take a police report, you are trying to ascertain, obviously, the key elements of a crime, because believe it or not, that you actually have to meet certain elements or criteria to have a crime. So you're trying to pick those elements out of a story. Sometimes an incident that lasted a minute takes them an hour to tell, and some of the information is irrelevant, some of it's relevant, and you're trying to piece that together, and you're looking for consistencies or incongruencies in those stories. And all practical purposes on the timeline of this whole hoax hate crime thing points to this doesn't smell right. But I honestly don't want to just dive into this whole Jussie Smollett thing in the details, because I could actually commend people who have put together videos with much more information than I have the time right now on this trip to piece together in a good way and give to you. So Tim Pool and or Donut Operator, go check their videos out. Both of them have videos on this whole situation, and you can take a deep dive into the information there. But I was really surprised when I was looking into hoax hate crimes briefly that there was actually a bunch of them, more than I would have guessed. I found a list on the dailysignal.com, which I don't know anything about this site at all, but this is the list real quick. Anti-Muslim hate crime in Michigan turns out to be a hoax. This is November of 2016. Bisexual student fakes Trump-inspired hate crime. Gas station racism goes viral. Police debunk it. White men rob Muslim woman of her hijab and wallet, except it never happened. Church organist vandalizes own church. Drunk white men attack Muslim woman, a story that also never happened. White guy sets his own car on fire, paints racial slurs on his own garage. This is just a handful, and I'm just scrolling through here. You can go look for yourself, but quite a number of things that they just note right here on this one site of hoax hate crimes, and it's become a thing. Why has it become a thing? Before I talk about false police reports, I will give you my 2 cents on why hoax hate crimes can take root. It is because I think our culture is thriving and celebrating victimhood. We have a victimhood culture, and it's almost like we idolize it. And that's how people are getting attention. That's how people are finding their meaning and value as people in society. It's how they're cutting through the noise on social media to take that next step to stay relevant, I guess. So I think culturally we have celebrated victimhood, and that's one reason that it's happening. The other reason I think it can take root is because it's a distraction from the real problem. There are actually real crimes taking place. There is some pretty severe crimes that took place, racially motivated crimes that took place during the same time period where Jussie Smollett's thing is going on, that barely made news, and they could actually be maybe taking steps to solve those crimes and identify offenders and things like that if it was getting the play, but it doesn't get the play because it's a distraction from real problems. And for some reason, culturally too, we seem to love the distraction more than actually addressing the real problem, because it's this easy, low-hanging fruit pinata, to smash or something like that. We can just hit it and knock it out, and we get results instantly. It doesn't actually take accepting individual responsibility and diving into the source of problems, looking at the root of things, and then doing the hard work to overcome them. So I think that's a couple of reasons why these hoax things can take root so fast in social media. Look at the Covington Navajo situation, that whole thing. Wow. Wow. What I wanted to do real quick, because it's pretty easy for me to do, is talk to you about false police reports in general. What are the implications of filing a false police report? I did some research a little bit on the plane. I tried to find, are there any states at all that don't have a law on the books about filing a false police report? I did not identify any states in the United States of America that don't have some form of a law about filing a false police report. Now, if you find one, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to look at that. However, in Michigan, it's very similar to other states from what I've seen. They go by slightly different names, but there is a filing a false police report crime in Michigan. And if you are reporting a misdemeanor crime falsely, then you can be charged with filing a false police report as a misdemeanor. In other words, let's say that you make up a misdemeanor assault, and then when it's discovered that it is not real, you could be charged with a misdemeanor version of filing a false police report. If you said that you were assaulted in a felonious way, so like, he grabbed a bat and attacked me, or however the form would take of the assault, and it's proven to be false, then you could be charged with a felony. Subsequent to those things, or separate from those things, are also charges of false information. So not necessarily, it's not you filing a false police report, but it is in the course of an appropriate investigation taking place, and you're providing or giving or offering false information. So that can also be a separate charge. Sometimes that's handled as an ordinance locally, but there are state statutes as well that are across the board for false information, but the penalties vary wildly depending on how it's applied. But it's not even just that crime, and this is what's important to know. You usually aren't going to just end up with a false police report crime charge, because usually it's because it's connected to something else that you're filing the false police report. For example, you want to burn your car somewhere and then report that it was stolen. So now you have insurance fraud that's going to get added onto that. If you, for example, made up a crime that involves someone doing something to you and then that became public, then you might be able to be sued for libel or something like that. There's both legal and practical implications for the idea of filing a false police report. So you got to be careful if you are a liar and you want to do that. Think through the implications of what could happen if you did. Sometimes it's relatively harmless and charges aren't even really followed up on locally, because it's kind of like called out immediately. There's been times where people have come into the station and they want to file a report, and I identify those incongruencies and will point them out. And I literally have told people, okay, I will take this report, but you do understand that these details are going to be looked into. I'm going to call this person. I'm going to go to this location. I'm going to attempt to recover evidence from here where you say that you were and this happened. And I'm going to look at cameras and etc. Not just from that business, but from neighboring businesses. I'm going to piece this together. And are you sure that you want to file this? Because you will, if I find that this is not true, then you're going to be subject to charges. And here you're alleging a felony happened, so you will be charged with a felony. And there's been times where people get up and it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to think about it. I'll talk to my cousin Eddie and see if he's real smart with this stuff. I'll see if I should still file this. And then they walk out. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. I don't know how long this video will end up turning out, but I'm trying to just get to the point and get it out to you. I tend to ramble. Okay, goodbye.